Tennessee Donor Services tells us the wait time is about 3 to 5 years for people on the kidney waiting list. But for one Chattanooga man, generosity cut that wait to 6 months and gave him a second chance at life.
That was our first father-daughter dance that we went to together.
Fred Rodriguez calls daughter Sam his sunshine.
We're very close. We're very similar, although she doesn't want to admit that.
Sam agrees, similar in nearly all ways but one.
Despite me looking exactly like my dad, same personality, we're literally twins. I told him, I'm glad I didn't get that one gene from you.
That gene, the cause of Fred's kidney disease. He learned about it at age 23 when his own father was in need of a transplant.
I had volunteered to go through the testing process to see if I could donate. And unfortunately, I found out I had the same gene.
Fast forward several decades, and Fred was the one in need of a transplant.
It was a hit to the gut. I wasn't expecting it.
But this time, Sam was at the ready to volunteer.
I wanted to be able to have that opportunity to also step in and give him like a new lease of life.
Months of testing and preparation paved the way for a transplant surgery February 3rd.
I was very nervous. I'm sending my daughter in to help me, and it got a little scary at that moment.
This photo marking the final hug with her dad before Sam was wheeled into the OR.
It didn't hit me until my dad gave me that final hug before they pulled me through those doors to the prep room.
Erlanger's Dr. Alan Coffrin was their transplant surgeon.
It was the generous donation of her that gave him life. So sort of a reverse. He started hers and she's finishing his.
Dr. Coffrin says people needing organ replacements is more common now than it's ever been.
There's been a growing gap in the people that can be transplanted and the organ supply, which has remained largely static.
Which makes Sam's gift to her father even more powerful.
You could just see more life in him.
And Fred's appreciation.
We're going to remain close forever now, and got a long life ahead of me. So thank you, sweetie.
Nothing short of indescribable. 2 months into recovery, the father-daughter duo says they're doing well. Fred says Sam's donation allowed him to avoid dialysis and a whole lot of pain.
The bill allows retirees to come back to work and teach, sub, or drive a bus. But as Jamia Reed shows us, some say this is only a short-term solution.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Retirees have a wealth of knowledge.
Beverly Sharrock recently retired from Hamilton County. She spent more than 30 years teaching elementary school.
I know a lot of retirees are subbing like I am to help out with the substitute shortage right now.
She retired back in November and started subbing 1 month later.
It's a way to make some extra money. Retirement pay isn't the best, if you're not drawing Social Security, but it's also a way to give back. It's a way to help out.
A new state bill would allow retirees in the classroom to help with the staffing shortage. Senator Yeager says retirees are being held back by current requirements and that this bill temporarily removes those barriers. Jeanette O'Markell with the Hamilton County Teacher Association says this is a short-term fix to a long-term problem.
It is only until 2025, so it's not a forever. Right now, it's just to try to address our current situation.
But what could this mean for teachers and students?
I think just allowing them to work in a building and become part of the staff of a building is much more powerful for our students to see the same faces every day and to build relationships with those teachers.
120 days. That's how long a retired school teacher can work in the school system. But with this new bill, it could be extended to a full school year. But Jeanette feels there is a permanent solution to the staffing shortage.
So I think that, smaller class sizes so we can really teach our children, better pay, more money put into it so you can hire those teachers that you need.
Right now, schools need all the help they can get.
Children are our future, and those of us who chose to teach, we didn't sign up to do it for the money.
Chattanooga may pump the brakes on new short-term rentals inside the city limits. Good evening, I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Kim Chapman. This comes after residents' complaints about those rentals that are owned by out-of-towners. The city wants to look at additional restrictions during that pause.
But as Eric Benninghoff joins us live to explain, local property owners think this will hurt their income too. Eric.
Latricia, Kim, the rule being discussed here at City Council would put a pause on new applications for non-owner occupied short-term vacation rentals. That would last through the end of the year if implemented. City Council Chair Chip Henderson says would give them time to take a closer look at concerns related to rental regulations and enforcement.
Yeah, for sure. So come on in.
Donna Morgan and her husband have called Lookout Valley home all their lives.
We were high school sweethearts.
Now she says they're turning homes like this into refurbished Airbnbs like this.
We employ residents, so we have a crew of contractors that help us. We have an electrician, a plumber, heating, air.
And they're also paying additional taxes.
We have moon pies and little Debbies.
Company data says Airbnbs generated $3.5 million in tax revenue for Hamilton County in 2021.
So we're helping the city of Chattanooga, bringing in jobs and supporting the economy here.
They already have 4 rentals and are hoping to open 2 more this summer. But Donna says the city's proposed pause on new applications for non-owner occupied short-term rentals could get in the way.
It actually would stop our business, for 9 months.
It's important that council hears support.
President of Highland Park's Neighborhood Association, Emerson Birch, has a different take.
I'm personally pretty excited about the moratorium. I think it's the right time.
He feels short-term rentals can detract from the fabric of a community.
The happiness you're going to experience, the relationships, the memories, the connections that people have in neighborhoods. A short-term vacation rental can't provide that.
And take away a piece of its civic power.
When you have a piece of property that doesn't have a resident, there's no person who can vote there.
He hopes the temporary moratorium will allow the city to take a closer look at rental legislation and how it's enforced.
You can hop on Airbnb right now and in this neighborhood find a good number of STVRs that are listed that aren't registered.
We've worked hard. We've paid our taxes. We've gone through the proper process. I think everybody should have to go through that. And if they're not, then yeah, let's deal with that. But don't penalize the people who are doing good for Chattanooga.
Latricia, Kim, council members have already discussed this in their agenda session, with some debate already on how much public comment is needed before the moratorium can start. Now, the proposed moratorium would only impact new applications for rentals, not currently operating rentals.